Hello class and welcome to Dark Souls School. Here we go. We're gonna start off here with the beginning cutscene as most games start off with. So, in the Age of Ancients, which is basically first days, unformed, shrouded by fog. I'm not quite sure where that came from. Maybe it's a reference to Demon Souls. Who knows? Anyway, Grey Crags basically means rocks, giant trees, and dragons that can't die. So yeah, they kind of rule the world right now, even though they just sit there and do nothing. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Yes, disparity. Heat and cold, as of course it was fire. Life and death, as by touching fire you die. Well, no, by sitting in fire for too long you die, yes. And light and dark, as fire by its nature gives off light, and without light, how would you get dark in comparison? So in the fire is a lot of power, which manifests itself in the form of Lord Souls, which we'll explain about more later. These guys are called giants. They found the Lord Souls and harnessed their power. This is Nito. He got the Soul of Death, as you can see by all the skeletons. So he uses that to command skeletons and zombies and stuff. Yeah. This is the Witch of Izalith. She got the Soul of Life, and she also uses that soul to make fire skills and stuff. Yeah. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, he gets the Soul of Light, of course. And these are the Silver Knights. They're pretty awesome. And this is the Furtive Pygmy. He got the Dark Soul. He is the ancestor of all humanity, and it is generally assumed that he used his soul, split it off into shards called humanities, and used it to really form to form humanity itself, you know, like humans. So yeah, Gwyn, turns out his lightning bolts can pierce the scales of immortality that the dragons have and kill them. So which was like really awesome for him. The witches burned down all their trees. And, well, burned down all the trees, yeah. Nito rotted all the tree branches. And it's generally considered to like give, yeah. Anyway, Seath, he is a albino dragon who doesn't have the scales of immortality, so he's kind of mad at all the other dragons because, well, I don't quite know why, but he doesn't have the scales of immortality, so he betrayed their secrets to Gwyn, who learned that by lightning he could pierce them. So, thus began the Age of Fire, when Gwyn won and established his kingdom, and gave all his gave shards of his soul to other giants so that they could be gods too. So in case you're wondering why there's more than 4, technically 3, because you never really meet the pygmy unless you get the DLC. DLC, woo! Yeah. So the gods are seeking to preserve their reign. They've tried many things, but none of them worked. In fact, one of them actually resulted in zombies. As you can see here, this guy died and became a zombie, and was first forced to die again. So, and again, and again. The dark sign basically makes you immortal, live forever, but it will drive you crazy because living forever isn't always a good thing. So here we go. All the loading screens actually show you item descriptions. So that's a little interesting little tidbit there. This is an asylum where all the people with the dark sign are locked up because, well, they're gonna live forever, and that means they're gonna go crazy. So this guy to the left is kind of like resisting it there. He's just like, no, no, no. Yeah. This guy on the right's banging the door, you know. And over on the left here is this guy reaching out. I must get out of the asylum. Yeah. So, yeah, they're locked away to await the end of the world, as Lady Person said, because that's how long they will live, and, well, they're just gonna go crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, you're locked up here. You're gonna live forever, and that means you're gonna go crazy, right? So, unfortunately for you, someone thinks it's otherwise and will let you out, so that you can go crazy somewhere other than being locked up in a cell. See, we're already crazy. We're blue. Yay. Okay, this is Oscar. Hi, Oscar. He drops a body for you who has a key on it. Yeah, he's very helpful. He gives you the Estus flask. He's nice. Nice Oscar. Anyway, here we go. Let's get started here with some actual gameplay. Okay, move the mouse to, well, move the camera. W, A, S, and D are the standard movement controls. So walk over here. Wait, what's the button? I don't know the button. Rawr. So you press escape to go to the menu, right? Wrong. You press end of all things. Arrow keys to move, enters to select. We're going to go to key settings here and look through all the buttons. There's a lot of buttons. Yeah. So we're going to be playing with a controller after this, so this is just like a one-time thing. Yeah. So it turns out the button we need is Q. Q is A. So whenever it says press A to do this, it actually means press Q. Oddly enough. So yeah. Q, Q, W, Q. Alright. So you've used the mouse to move the camera. And left click is attack. So here we go, left clicking, yay. So he's dead now, and we got 20 souls on the bottom right. Right trigger is strong attack. And we get 20 more souls. Those are used as currency and as experience, so you need to moderate what you use them for. So B is space, because it's associated with movement. You can hold it down to do dashes, and you can quickly release and tap it while you're dashing to do a jump. Jump. So that means press it down the right stick in case you're wondering, not move it. And then, so it's actually middle mouse. So you can do that. You move slowly in water that's above your knees generally. There's an item that helps you with that later, but we don't need to worry about that. So here we go. There's another message. Resting at bonfires recovers your hit points. It's important to know. So here we go. Ding. Bonfire lit. So you'll have a lot more stuff on this menu later. Down there in the bottom right is souls. You can spend them here to level up. Up at the top right is humanity. You can use that to restore your human state and go into online mode. You can also use your humanities as a kind of as to kindle the bonfire and give you more healing items when you rest at it. We'll talk about that more later when we actually get Estus, which is what that healing item's called. Up at the top, you can just barely see him, but you can't hear because my camera sucks. Because I'm using the PC. Is a demon. He's gonna jump down here, and it's your job to run away, because big scary demons you run away from. And that is how this game works. You run away from big scary demons. Yes. Okay, so you're resting at this bonfire, and this is where we start getting geared up to face this boss for reals. So get your shield. This guy shoots arrows at you. They can be blocked easily with a shield, and they do minimal damage because we're wearing really heavy armor. Pick up the shield, and of course, and I'll show you here. So left bumper is actually shift. So you go to your equipment, you equip it there. There, you equip it there. Those are arrows, crossbow bolts, items, rings, and some armor. So rings basically just give you special effects. Don't equip it there or there. You equip your shield there. So that way it's in your left hand, and you can block with it. So here I'm locking on just to keep myself going in a straight path. It's kind of hard to do that with the PC controls. So here's our weapon here, the broadsword. Yeah, it's not the best weapon, but it's what we're gonna have to live with. Here's just telling you how to change weapons and toggle items. If you want to go back to the part of the video where I showed you all the controls, you can figure out what button that is. So yeah. So our weapon does more damage than it used to now. So that guy can go down in 2 hits instead of like 4. That's a quick attack as opposed to the strong attack I was using. This weapon has a very standard moveset, swing with your sword. So you don't need to go that way. There's nothing of use over there. you can also use space for backstepping, and after that you can attack and do a running attack. And you can use it to roll. So here we go. If you're smart, you can roll here, and the big giant metal ball thing will roll right past you. Sucker. Okay. Over here's Oscar, sitting on some bricks and dying. So we're not hollow, even though we're blue. Yeah. He's done for. He'll die soon, and then lose his sanity. That sound a little backwards to you? We're both undead, apparently. That's nice. Why does he get to have his visor down? Okay. He's failed, but perhaps we can keep the torch lit. Huh. Old saying, our horde undead are chosen, and the nexus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords, or Lordran. When you ring the bell of awakening, there's actually 2 of them. The fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now we know. Yeah, and he can die with hope in his heart. Oh, he's going to give us the Estus Flask. It's a rechargeable item that heals you when you use it. It's very nice. So yeah, it's probably the most useful item in the game here. We're going to be using it a lot, trust me. And now he must bid farewell. He would hate to harm us after death. So go now. And thank you. Okay. So X or E to use your item. Resting at a bonfire replenishes your Estus Flask. As I mentioned earlier, kindling it gives you a little more oomph to your Estus Flask and lets you have more charges in it. 1 humanity point, as 5 charges for your Estus Flask when you rest at that particular bonfire. As you can tell from the sound effect in the background, if you heard it, he just died and gave us his 100 souls, because whenever anything dies in this game, you get souls for it. It's pretty nice. So we're not going to bother with that. You're going to need your shield. Left stick plus left click. No, move forward and right click at the same time is your kick, and with the heavy attack is your jump attack. Resting at bonfires also respawns most enemies, except for bosses, of course. So you notice me standing back here. It's because rushing in without knowing what's back there is generally not a good idea. Because you will get massacred if you let them hit you, even if you do have high poise or resistance to stagger. So here we're going to demonstrate some critical hits, like backstabs and parries. So you press tab to do a parry. Ah, I missed there. There we go. That was a parry. You can attack right afterwards to get another attack. Yeah, that was a backstab. It does like double damage, I think. Now we're going to get to show you an actual riposte, which is an attack after a parry that does like triple damage. There, see, that was a lot of damage for what we were normally doing in 1 hit. So those are critical hits. There's one more kind of critical hit, but it only really works on bosses. It's called a plunging attack. I'm going to demonstrate one here. Now don't stay up on this platform too long. He will jump up and hit you. So you just attack while you're falling, and if you land on the boss, you get a lot of damage on them. And I mean a lot of damage. So the trick with this guy is to stay behind him. You do not want to get in front of him. I'm going to make that mistake soon here, and I am going to fail miserably. Oh, see, you are able to resist most of his attacks, but some of them are undodgeable. So generally when you have low health, get outside of his attack range if possible, and heal yourself. I'm going to have to demonstrate that twice here. So yeah, the trick with this guy is to stay behind him because he can't hit you very well. Yeah. See, most bosses actually have a tail, like a longer one. If you cut it off, you get a special weapon. It's very nice. So, and all bosses have a standard loot called humanity, of course, like I've already told you about. And they often give you a key to unlock the next area. Humanity is used for online play and stuff, and the key just opens that door over there. I will explain much more about humanity in the next video. And he gave us 2,000 souls. That's quite a bit, even though you don't know. But we're going to level up at least like 2 or 3 times once we get out of this area. So, here we go. Good job, you you beated the boss. Go straight ahead and we can almost exit the tutorial. Right. Okay, just so you know, G to open the gesture menu, I think. You have a lot of things you can make your character do. For now, I'm just gonna wave. Goodbye, class. I hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah.